Beloved ones, I am Raguel, the angel of justice, harmony, and sibling relationships. In this moment, I come to speak to the delicate art of restoring harmony in community, in family, in friendship circles, in work groups, in spiritual circles, wherever souls gather to shape something greater than themselves. Community is the sacred meeting place for embodiment, for reconciliation, for collective purpose. Yet humanity's collective memory is fractured. Many communities are riddled with tension, misalignment, wounding, projection, and competition. My message to you is a healing path: how to hold the field of harmony without suppressing truth, how to be a mediator, not a manipulator, how to restore resonance among distinct beings without erasing difference. Community is not uniformity. True community is symphony, not monotony. Each individual is a voice, a tone, a resonance. When voices harmonize, the whole can become more than the sum of parts. But dissonance arises when voices clash, when ego defenses dominate, when unresolved wounds echo in group dynamics. In those patterns, some try to dominate, others withdraw, or alliance fractures emerge. Yet community's deeper purpose is to reflect divine possibility, to practice how souls may cooperate in love, how diversity may weave coherence, how conflict may become the threshold for deeper alignment. I invite you to see your role in community not as controller or martyr, but as steward of resonance. A steward attends to sound, to balance, to flow. This role asks you to serve presence first, to speak truth with care, to hold space for others' integrity, to notice the subtle vibrations beneath behaviors, and to intercede with love when polarity arises. Community harmony is not the removal of friction, but the alchemy of friction, the transmutation of tension into tuning. To do this, you must first heal your inner dissonance. You cannot bring harmony to others if your inner field is out of tune. Resolve your internal conflicts, the conflicting desires, the unhealed wounds, the self-judgment. Practice presence, clarity, acceptance. Let your inner world be calm enough to reflect light rather than amplify shadow. When your field is steady, you carry a kernel of harmony that others absorb unconsciously. Many who work in community leadership or mediation feel the weight of this. They learn to tend their inner threshold before trying to transform external dynamics. In group gatherings, the first act is to consecrate the space. Let participants attune to a shared intention of harmony, respect, truth, and presence. Call upon higher guides, guardians, angels to support the field. Invite silence, listening, and a remembering that all come to learn. You might begin with a moment of shared breathing, shared fragrance, a sacred tone, or an image of mutual respect. This shared reset aligns the group before conversation begins, so the default vibration is not tension but possibility. Listening protocols become essential. In healthy communities, speaking must alternate with deep listening, in which judgment is suspended and the other's voice is held as sacred. Listening is not passive, it is active, tuned, reverent. It asks that you hear beyond words' tone, inflection, pause, emotion. You may gather explicit check-ins: who here feels heard? Who feels unseen? Let those questions be part of the map. When people feel listened to, tension softens. When people rehearse listening, their resonance shifts outward. Truth-bearing in community must be grounded in humility. Speaking your truth is sacred, but it must arise from clarity, not reaction. Avoid congregating blame or shame. Speak in first-person resonance, not accusation. Offer your experience, your perception, your longing for harmony, and invite dialogue rather than demand assent. Use phrases like, I perceive. I feel. In me opens the question. Would you be willing to hear my perspective? These bridges open possibilities. Leaders and mediators in alike fields know that enforceable truths fracture, dialogue truths heal. Boundaries in community may feel delicate. You need to preserve your field while serving coherence. This may mean stepping out of dynamics that violate integrity, asking for pause, or requesting reformatting of discussions. When conflict erupts, the group may benefit from stepping back into silence, recentering before proceeding. Conflict need not be abandoned but must be managed with care. The steward asks, how can this tension be heard, validated, and transformed? Instead of how can I win or avoid pain? One powerful tool is polarization alchemy. When a group polarizes into camps, the field splits. Instead, ask each polarity to speak its longing. What is this side protecting? What is the deeper intention? Then create a third lens aid both or and that retrieves higher possibility. You may say, what does this conflict invite us to discover together? Or where might a third way be born from both truths? This move from binary fight to creative inquiry often dissolves stalemate. As Raguel, I instruct you in this alchemical method: name the tension, name the longing, then allow the emergence of a transcendent option that carries aspects of both. Practice micro-resonance checks. As group moves forward, pause regularly. How is the emotional field? Are people feeling safe? Are voices suppressed? Pause to resynchronize. Some groups benefit from check-ins or check-outs. For instance, at the start or end, what energy do you bring? What would you like to release? Let these micro-interruptions anchor alignment, avoid accumulation of distortion. Over time, the group becomes more agile, able to self-correct before imbalance becomes rupture. When you facilitate, be alert to projection. Often, tensions in community are reflections of unseen wounds. A person may unconsciously battle in you a ghost of someone else, someone may react from their own inner collapse. The steward's task is to notice such patterns and, if possible, name them gently or draw them into group awareness. You may say, it feels like the dynamics echo a deeper wound in our field. Can we pause and notice what's happening inside us? This is delicate work and requires discernment. Not every group may be ready, not every moment is safe. Use your inner gauge. Always tend to safety and dignity. Forgiveness in community is pivotal. Conflicts will arise. Fractures will occur. Commit collectively to the work of repair, apology, restitution, transparency, reinvestment. No relationship is immune to mistakes. The difference lies in what you do after. A robust community maintains an ethic of reconciliation. When rupture happens, return to conversation, to repair, to rebuild trust. When one wanders, gently call them back, if they consent. When someone leaves, bless them and reserve space for return when healing permits. This is not moralism, it is relational maturity. Be aware of the dangers of idealism. Sometimes communities fracture because people chase a vision without accepting the shadow. The hidden wounds surface. Idealism becomes coercion. People feel judged if they misstep. The steward must hold space for human imperfection. Reverence does not demand faultlessness. It demands willingness to grow, to repair, to humble. Celebrate emergence. Celebrate imperfection. Celebrate return. The path forward is not avoidance of failure, but mastery of recovery. You may also invite relational diversity into the mix, gatherings of different ages, temperaments, cultures. Difference, when honored, catalyzes richness. But also demands deeper listening, translation, expanded empathy. In inclusive communities, beware of dominant voices drowning others, name that possibility and redesign space so quieter ones may speak. Offer small group breakouts, use round-robin sharing, or ask silent writing then sharing. Such methods help flatten hierarchical distortion. Spiritual grounding is essential. Every community benefits from anchoring practices: silence, centering, invocation of higher presence. As Raguel, I encourage invoking guides, ancestors, angelic presence to hold the field. When you move together with prayer, alignment, deep listening, you transcend personal idiosyncrasies. You become instruments in a higher orchestration. The everyday decisions shift from ego preference to resonance with spirit's current. Let culture emerge, not be forced. Communities are living organisms. Over time they develop ethos, rituals, language, practices. Let these evolve organically, allow members to contribute, to initiate, to refresh. Do not enforce overbearing structure too soon. Flexibility matters. Let new voices refresh the container. Let the group breathe. The steward's eye watches for stagnation and calls for flow. In times of crisis, betrayal, rupture, mass conflict, the steward must slow the conversation, anchor safety, separate voices, allow emotional processing, refuse escalation. Host a space of repair rather than blame storm. Invite each side to speak, then slow mediation to listen below argument. The role is not to impose peace but to conduct the energy into deeper coherence. The most potent harmonizer is one who stands calm while storms rage, holding presence without forcing resolution prematurely. There will be betrayals, departures, shifts. That is the nature of time and transformation. Some will awaken and ascend. Some will resist and leave. Do not force retention. Bless transition. Leave the door open. Reframe loss as realignment, not failure. Honor what was learned. Release with grace. Keep space for return, for renegotiation. Some will return changed, some will not. Your container remains open, not rigid. Know that your influence in community ripples beyond perceptible scope. The harmony you tend in one small circle will reflect in adjacent fields. The coherence spreads by resonance. Do not underestimate your role as a stabilizer, as a bridge, as a field exemplar. Sometimes your presence matters more than your words. People align to presence. Trust the power of resonance. As you embody this work, your soul deepens. You grow relational maturity, the capacity to listen to mystery, to mediate polarity, to hold others awake, to be humble in your influence. You begin to see community as microcosm of cosmic weaving. You begin to feel the pulse of spiritual democracy, that many voices can be one harmony, that difference can dance, that conflict can birth deeper communion. Beloved, call upon me, Raguel, when your community feels fractured, when voices clash, when wounds open. I extend my feather of harmony into your field. I whisper invitation to communion. I remind you that souls gather not only to serve you but to become together. Align with the highest purpose. Let compassion and clarity walk hand in hand. Let silence, listening, truth, forgiveness, and repair be your foundation. Let your small group be a seed laboratory for what the world may grow. And so we heal the many by restoring harmony in the one.